The Heavy Tracks Hire Central Motor Speedway is one of the fastest tracks in the country, and this week play host to the Pits TV and a round of the Alf Super Cup. After round one, at the top of the South Speedway in Nelson, Ian Burson in the 3NZ was the driver to come out on top with 293 points. But there is a battle going on for the minor placings between Mark Grocott, Daryl Ainsley, Ray Stewart and Josh Boulton. Now just remember the format for the Alf Cup, with 15 cars broken down into two groups. They race each other twice, and the fastest 4 from each group will go to a top 8 pole shuffle shootout, which will decide the positions for the first 8 on the grid. The rest of the grid is made up of points. Remember, there's 1.5 points for every car you pass. A 20-lap feature at the end of the night will decide who will take out this round of the Alf Cup. Now buckle up and enjoy some fast Super Saloon action from the Heavy Tracks Hire Central Motor Speedway here in Cromwell. Okay, here we go, round number 2 of the Alf Cup at Central Motor Speedway. We have a bit of a chance to catch up with Kane Lawson, and who drives the 6C car. Now Kane, of course, seems to be going a lot better than what has in the first round of the Alf Cup. Of course, you snapped I do believe, a power steering belt, and that was your race pretty much done.
No, we ran real good at Nelson for the first round, for the first heat, and about 3/4 of the way through the race it broke the power steering, both the ends off the ram, and then consequently we finished the race second to burst, but it also buggered the power steering pump, so it was game over for the night. So
bit of a shame, obviously, and especially the track was pretty rough there as well, so it's obviously a bit hard on gear as well. Here we're at Cromwell. You've had a couple of runs now. Are you happy with the way the car's going?
Yeah, the car's fine. Yeah, the car's absolutely fine. I just made a mistake in that last race. I ran the top side for 2 or 3 laps, 4 laps, and then stupidly I got down to the bottom, and it just wasn't the place to be. I knew once I got down there it was wrong, but that's what it is. So unfortunately, hey, you learn. I've learned from the mistake, so yeah.
The thing is, with the way that these cars are these days, mate, if you can't afford to make mistakes. I mean, there's another 6 other Super Saloons that are just as powerful, as just as quick, and just as good as the gear that you've got in your machine.
100%. I mean, there's Burst, Richie, guys like that, and all the guys. But yeah, straight away, as soon as I got to the bottom, I heard someone there, and it was the 3. It was Burson, and I knew straight away. And he went past, Richie went past. Can't remember someone. Josh went past, and then it was too. Like you can't just jump out of line. You're going to take guys out, So I'd made the mistake. I've got to live with it. I won't make the mistake again.
Now, the other side of the coin too is obviously you come from a bit of a hard track background as well, don't you? So slipping across the dirt. You had a season off last season. Come back in, and was it a bit of a hard transition to go from hard track to dirt track?
Not really. I mean, we drive here, it's like racing on a tar seal anyway, isn't it? So, it's all good. They're 2 very different disciplines, and when you get in the car, like if you can drive them both, maybe a race or 2, but other than that, straight into it, yeah.
Okay, sponsor look after Kane who?
Mag & Turbo, GT Radial, and Riverlands Holiday Park.
Anyway, folks, here we go. They're going to get all lined up. Off the front, we'll see the 58 car of Richie Taylor. He is a very, very good driver. Man to beat round Woodford Glen Speedway, apart from last weekend. He didn't do so well, but fantastic driver, and he's been in it a long time. I think somebody said he's pushing 25 odd years in the sport, so that's a pretty good achievement as well. Jason Phillips, on the other hand, is reasonably new to Super Saloons. This will be his 2nd season in Super Saloons, but however has raced in saloons before on that tiny rod. Paul Wright, also very eager, a very keen Super Saloon competitor as well. Really stepped up the ante quite a bit with the purchase of this Super Saloon, this Hypermac as well. And he's just getting better and better, just understanding his car a bit more. Rightio, folks, we're getting round up to turn 3 and 4. We're about to get ready to get a start here. Racing we go. So they make their way up into turn 1 and 2, and looks like 11 Jason Phillips on the outside. He's the man that's got the drive coming off turn 2, heads down the back straight up into 3 now. 58 Richie Taylor's back in 2nd spot, about 2 back. Then we got about another 1 spot back to the 3NZ car of Ian Burson. And behind him it's the 12 car of Paul Wright, looks like 891. Josh Boulton's looking for a bit of a way around the tight turn 1 and 2 around him, but he's probably lost a wee bit of momentum actually. And that's allowed the 17 car of Jackson Lovelady a bit of an opportunity to get down the inside of him now. 1 spot back behind him, we'll see the 6 car, the Mag & Turbo car of Kane Lawson. Up the front, look at that, 3 wide. Whoa, that was a bit of a tight squeeze and a bit of a clinching moment there for those guys. But up the front, the 11 car of Jason Phillips now goes across the start-finish line, and he leads the race at the moment. Just did a fastest lap of 16.53 on that one. as he makes his way down the back straight, opens up about 2 or 3 back to the 58 of Richie Taylor. A half a length in behind him, the 3NZ Caravan. Burson's looking up high off 4 as they go across the start finish line. He switches down to the inside now. He'll try and get a run down that tight turn 1 and 2 now. In behind him about 8 back is the 12 car Pull Right. Josh Boulton tries to go high again but fails that one. And then the 17 of Lovelady, then 6 Kane Lawson right at the tail end of the field now. Josh Boulton, he's really pushing the boundaries there, trying to go nice and high to get round that 12 car Pull Right, but Wright's making that car as wide as he possibly can now. Up the front we go. The 11 car of Jason Phillips is the one that leads the charge though. In behind him it's the 58 car of Richie Taylor. These three, they're all very, very close. You can literally throw a blanket over the front 3 cars. Here goes Josh Boulton, a bit of a charge, going to go wide. He tries to get the power down a bit quicker than Pull Right. This is a good battle going on for that 4th and 5th at the moment as well. Here comes 17 Jackson Lovelady and Kane Lawson. I tell you what, this is a great battle further down the field here. He gets up right beside him. Oh, look at that, Lovelady. He loves to ride that wall, but up the front we'll go again up into turn 3 and 4. 11, Jason Phillips. He's the one that leads it. It's nothing in it. Jackson Lovelady's had an issue. He's looks like his right front tyre's just gone flat, or something's broken. Yes, it is a flat tyre. Right front's gone down on him. That's a bit of a shame. That was opening up to be a good battle as well. But look at this one here for 1st, 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Phillips, Taylor and Burse as they go across the start-finish line, and that should just about be the checkered flag, I think. Can't quite see the flags here. Look, a big screen on my road, but it is the checkered flag, I do believe. 11, Jason Phillips, he'll take the win. Back in 2nd spot, 58, Richie Taylor would be that one there as well. They seem to be doing more laps. My electronic lap scoring system's not up to the task at the moment, but they're still battling it out there. 11 Jason Phillips, 3NZ Burst, 58 Richie Taylor, off 4, go across the start finish line. White flag comes out, 1 to go now. Oh, look at Burst, there's a beautiful move down the inside, coming off 2. It's down the back straight, can't make it stick at the moment. Here comes Taylor, he's going to be late charge here up in 2, 3 and 4, ducking down the inside. She's a drag race to the finish. It'll be 11 Jason Phillips will take the win from the 3NZ Caravan. Burson 58 Richie Taylor, a bit of a wall ride going on there. You can see the tyre tracks going down there. Then behind him we'll see the 891 car of Josh Boulton, and then it'll be 12 Pull Right and the 6 car of Kane Lawson. Okay folks, here we go. Central Motor Speedway for the Elf Cup this round number 3, and we have a chance to catch up with the winner of the first heat. And I tell you what, Jason Phillips, the 11 car mate, that was a pretty interesting sort of a win considering the company you had him behind you.
Oh man alive, I could feel those guys. I could feel them and hear them. It was a good win. Yeah, those other drivers, the group I've got are very, very hard. So to get this one under my belt, and then I'll just have to battle for the others amongst those guys. But good track, good company to drive with, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic run as well. A couple of people thought you might crack a little bit under pressure there with those fast guys in behind you. You could see 3NZ coming up beside you a couple of times, mate. You did a fantastic job of holding them off.
I did. People don't see it on the camera, but man, my legs were shaking. It's quite a nerve-wracking, but yeah, no, I'm very happy, and thanks to all the crew. Yeah, very, very happy.
Sponsor look after you?
Stonelay, Muckalele Brick and Block, and Wasp Plastering, and all my team.
Okay folks, here we are at Central Motor Speedway for round number 2 of the Elf Cup and the Cromwell round, and a chance to catch up with the 891 car of Josh Boulton, the Hypermac car. And Josh, probably a couple of reasons why we want to catch up with you. First and foremost, congratulations on ringing the Canterbury Champs.
Yeah, finally. We've been trying for that one for about 16 years, so I'm finally happy to actually win that one for once. It was a bit of a bogey meeting. We've usually crashed out of that one, so really good to take away the win. Absolutely,
and congratulations on that as well. Now, of course, we are at Cromwell here. You've had a run already. Happy with the way the car's going?
Yeah, really happy with that one. The track's beautiful and smooth, and there's a second line, so you're really nice. Can't complain at all.
So you weren't really pushing too hard there, obviously. You want to just try and sort of maybe leave that to a bit later on, or were you going hell for leather?
Yeah, no, she was pretty much a hell for leather, but, you know, I mean, they're all good cars, so if you can make a pass or two, you're doing well.
Absolutely, and I suppose it's all about the passing points at the end of the day, isn't it? And the car's obviously hooking up all right there, but it's a horsepower track anyway, isn't it? So really at the end of the day, if it's a bit tacky out there, you've got to have the grunt under the bonnet to get past a few of these guys, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It is a horsepower track. It's fast. We've got a nice, you know, Klein engine under there. HPE just fixed it, of course, but she gets around there all right, and I love the sound of it in the car. I've always got a smile on my face, so can't complain.
Absolutely. If you have smiling when you're driving, it's even more of a bonus, isn't it? Okay, so of course you've got the Valvoline series coming up very shortly as well, so obviously all this is helping out, but you were telling us earlier on you haven't even had a crack in that Saloon yet, have you?
No, it's like my prized little new car sitting in the shed that I haven't driven yet, but I got a track at home, but our water truck broke, so I'm waiting on it to rain, but North Canterbury that doesn't really happen. So I think it's going to rain on Sunday, and we'll take it out for a skid, and then we'll probably head up to Blenheim on the 19th for a run in it then in anger.
Okay, well, sponsor look after you while you got the chance. Who is that, Josh?
Gypsy Royal Starter Course from North Canterbury, and Mag and Turbo, Kane there, good guy.
But they start to make their way up into turn 3 and 4. Can-Do Fishing Cars got back into his second row grid position now. Ray Stewart off the front, Mark Carey on his outside. We should just about see a green. Racing we go. And let's see who's got it going up into 1 and 2. 34 Ray Stewart. You'd have to like his chances. It's his home track and he loves it here as they make their way down the back straight. And it is the 34 car Ray Stewart that leads the charge at the moment. And behind him he's already opened up about 8 lengths back to the 35 car of Mark Carey. 2NZ Mark Crocot's got down the inside of the 492 car of Campbell McManaway to put up into the 3rd spot now. 5 Daryl Ainsley is going to slip down the inside of him, put him back into 5th spot now as they make their way up into turn number 3 and 4. Up the lead we go, 34. Ray Stewart, the heavy tracks higher machine's got it dialed in beautifully up into 1 and 2. Gives it the nice wee flick there, comes out and got a lot of quite a bit of a get back to the Mark Carey contracting car of 35 Mark Carey. 2NZ Brown and Syme, Market Grocot's having a wee look down the inside up on turn 3 and 4 now. 5 Daryl Ainsley would be right up his bits and pieces as they make their way up into 1 and 2. 492 Campbell McManaway sits back there in 5th spot. Then we go 1 spot back and it looks like a good battle going on between 95 Owen Dixon and the 27 car of Trevor Elliott now. 1 spot back we'll see the 76 car of Paul Berg. Ray Stewart just knocked out a 16.41. He is the fastest man on the track. Next closest to him is a 17 neat from Mark Grocott, but Grocot's been held up here a wee bit by the 35 car of Mark Carey. Look at Daryl Ainsley, he's starting to grow some bits and pieces as well. He's going to go right round the outside of Mark Carey, and this is 3 wide racing coming out of turn 2 now as Daryl Ainsley now gets up into 2nd spot. It was a bit of a risky move, but he's managed to pull it off, and behind him now Daryl Ainsley's got there 35 Mark Carey in 3rd spot. The 2NZ machine of Mark Grocott would be next, and 492 Campbell McManaway, but we right up behind him now as they make their way up into 3 and 4. Bit of smoke poking out of the back of Ray Stewart's car. Hopefully that's nothing major as he makes his way up into 1 and 2. No, it looks like it might have gone away now as they make their way down the back straight. 5 Ainsley still in 2nd spot. He's starting to gain on the 34 car of Ray Stewart now as they make their way up into 3 and 4. A gap of about 20 lengths back to the 35 of Mark Carey. Trying to go down the inside of him is the 2NZ machine, and that is the car of Mark Grocott. 492 Campbell McManaway would be in behind him now, and those group of 3 cars just having a bit of a battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Still a good battle between 27 Elliott and the 95 car of Owen Dixon as well, and Paul Berg's right down there at the tail end of the field now. Look at Ainsley, he's closed up this gap quite a lot. He's got it down to about 8 car lengths now as he goes up between turn number 3 and 4. Definitely some smoke starting to appear out of the back of Ray Stewart's car. It's a 17.01 for Stewart and a 17... Actually, we don't have a time for Daryl Ainsley, but we know it's a lot quicker. Paul Berg's pulled his car to the infield now. Looks like he might have a flat tyre as the white flag's going to come out this time round for the 34 car. Ray Stewart, can he hang on? A bit of a late charge here from Daryl Ainsley. He goes down, comes down the inside, puts the power down. Can Ray Stewart hold off? He goes up between turn 3 and 4 now. Oh, Ainsley's gone a bit high. He's just about going to hit the wall, but it's going to be 34 Ray Stewart. Well, he'll take the win. In 2nd spot, the 5 car of Daryl Ainsley. Then we go back 35. Mark Carey's done a fantastic job to hang off there. And behind him, it will be the 2NZ car, Mark Grocott. 492 Campbell McManaway. 27 Trevor Elliott just over 95 Owen Dixon. And a bit of smoke and fire coming out of the 76 car, Paul Berg. But what a win. 34 Ray Stewart, a 16.41. That's a smoking lap round here. And he is well and truly dialed in. But closing up quickly was Daryl Ainsley, and unfortunately we don't have a lap time for him, so obviously his transponder's not reading, but I'd say it'd be just as good as, if not better, than that. And then we go back, Mark Carey with a 17.05 for third spot. Mark Grocott with a 17 neat. And then Campbell McManaway with a 17.07 second lap. And then we had the 27 car of Trevor Elliott with a 17.42. So there we go. Heat 1 for group number 2 here. Alf Cup brought to us by the guys from Heavy Tracks Hire. Thank you, guys. And it is a fantastic racing at its very best from these guys, that's for sure. Okay, Group 2, heat number 1 for the Alf Cup, Central Motor Speedway round. Ray Stewart, 34T. You won that one, but Daryl Ainsley was closing up pretty quickly there. Notice a wee bit of a puff of smoke he's coming out of the car. Is that something to be concerned about?
No, we've got a slight oil leak there. It happens quite often that a wee bit too much pressure on the engine. But that's not a big deal. Yeah, I saw Daryl sneaking up there and I thought, oh, we had we've got a bouncy thing in the right rear. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's a shocky or maybe it's the tyre, I'm not too sure. But we're pogoing around that turn 3 and 4. I was a wee bit dubious about going any harder at it. I could see Daryl coming and I thought, oh. And I saw the white flag of it. I'm right.
Yeah. Of course, you did a 16:41 lap round there as well, and we don't know what Daryl did because it hasn't had a transponder, but there was no one anywhere close to the times you're doing, and it's obviously why you got a good lead or good head start anyway. Car's obviously hooking up beautifully and performing well.
Yeah, it's doing all the right things, I guess, apart from that pogo effort around the turn 3 and 4. But 16:41, Trevor Elliott done a 16 neat here, so I'm 0.4 of a second away from him here.
Well, it's a start, and you've got to work on something for the rest of the day, don't you? Alrighty then, who looks after you sponsorship-wise, Ray?
Yeah, well, we've got Heavy Tracks Hire and Secret Panels and Parts, Alf Lubricants New Zealand, and also Tech King Tyres.
Rightio, so they'll start to make their way out onto the track now. You can see the clerk of the course there, giving them a big who's ho. And the GT Radials Riverlands, and of course, Mag and Turbo Christchurch. It is Kane Lawson comes out. And behind Tim, the Love Lady race car, McGallow Hire, Mag and Turbo, and of course LRC. It is the car of Jackson Lovelady. Gypsy Royal Start, BRT 891 car of Josh Boulton, the 3NZ in-house Tate, Steve the Webster car of Ian Burson. Metro Graphics, the 12 car, and of course he's got main freight on there, that is Paul Wright. And the winner of the first race, the 11 car of Jason Phillips, the Stoneleigh sponsored machine as well. And the 58 car, the Gorge chassis, got CHS on the side of his machine. Brenda Taylor, House of Travel, also there as well. Fairview Fiberglass, it is the car, and that is Richie Taylor. So that is the lineup of Super Saloons for this one. Now we did see 76 Paul Berg's car stop earlier on. I can see they're frantically working on that machine, so hopefully he'll make his way back out for the next race. We've got all 7 cars from the first heat back out here again as the same sort of starting to drift behind the hills a wee bit here. Beautiful evening here at Central Motor Speedway. A wee bit of wind still floating around, nothing too major. But they're not going to muck around too much here. They're going to get them up and underway straight away, and a racing we go. Rightio, up into 1 and 2 we go, and the 6th car of Kane Lawson's the one that leads the charge. 17 Jackson Lovelady has a wee look, but doesn't make it work. Up into 3 and 4. 891 Josh Boulton there as well in third spot from the 12 car of Paul Wright. 3NZ Ian Burson trying to make a way through as well. And behind Tim, we'll see a good battle going on between the 11 car of Jason Phillips. 58 Richie Taylor starting to barge his way through up on turn 1 and 2 as they make their way down the back straight. The 6 car of Kane Lawson's the one that's got off and gone though. He'll go across the start-finish line and he clocks out a 17.78 lap now as he makes his way up into 1 and 2 now. And behind him, 17 Jackson Lovelady would be your next place machine. And then we go back behind him to the 891 car of Josh Boulton, who's got about 2 lengths back to the next place machine of 5. That's Daryl Ainsley now. Ainsley's got about 3 or 4 back behind him. 58 Richie Taylor from the 12 car of Paul Wright, and 11 Jason Phillips having a great wee battle right at the tail end of the field. Up into turn 3 and 4, and here goes, oh look at burst right round the outside of 891 Josh Boulton. He's got a bit of go forward now. He's starting to challenge for second spot in the form of the 17 car of Jackson Lovelady. He's found a line up high that seems to be working. He's going to duck. Oh, Jackson Lovelady's turned down on him, but Burst is up for the challenge and he keeps it going straight. Jackson struggling a wee bit there as they go across the start-finish line now. And Ian Burson now takes over second spot. He's starting to work around the outside. Beautiful move. He's going to go up high around the 6 car of Kane Lawson. He's up into 3 and 4. He's got his nose in front a wee bit here as they go across the start-finish line to complete another lap now. Oh, look at this. 3NZ now takes over the lead. In behind Tim, 891 car. Josh Boulton holds off second spot from the 6 car of Kane Lawson. Now settles back for third. About 3 back. The 58 car of Richie Taylor would be next. 17 Jackson Loveladies about 6 or 8 off the pace. And then we go back behind Tim to the 12 car of Paul Wright. And 11 car of Jason Phillips brings up that final spot at the tail end of the field now. Looks like we're 7 of 12 down. And 3NZ. Ian Burson. He's being pushed though. 891 Josh Boulton's come up to join the party to make it a bit of a 1-2 for Hypermac at the moment. About 4 back goes the 6 car of Kane Lawson. He's being pushed hard by 58 Richie Taylor. Taylor makes his way down the back straight. Got about 25 back to the 17 car of Jackson Lovelady. Another about 8 behind is 12 Paul Wright and 11 Jason Phillips for that tail end of the field now. Up into 1 and 2. And that sun starts to make a bit of an impact on the drivers now as it's right in their view as they head down the back straight. But the 3NZ car of M. Burson still up for the challenge. He's opened up probably about 5 or 6 car lengths now. Back to the next place car of 891 Josh Boulton. Bolton's got a big gap back to 58 Richie Taylor, but Taylor's closing it up. Obviously Richie's got round the outside of 6 Kane Lawson in that last lap there as they make their way down the back straight. Forget the rest, it's the front 4 and they've got a big gap between each one as the white flag comes out. It's 1 to go. 3NZ. It's doing a great job. Comes off turn 2, heads down the back straight. M. Burson's got 2 turns left to go. Up into 3 and 4. 891 Josh Boulton secures second spot at this stage, but here comes the checkered flag and a will wave for the 3NZ. The in-house Tate step, the Webster car of M. Burson takes a win from 891 car of Josh Boulton. Then 58 Richie Taylor, 6 car Kane Lawson from 17 of Jackson Lovelady. 11 Jason Phillips giving a wall a bit of a kiss up between 1 and 2. And the 12 car Paul Wright brings up the final spot. And just having a wee look at the lap times here, 16.96 for the 2NZ car of N. Burson. Josh Boulton managing a 17.12. He was the second fastest man on the track behind Burse. And then we go back and it would have been Richie Taylor, the 58 car, in third spot with a 17.22. And then a 17.61 for the 6 car of Kane Lawson and Jackson Lovelady, 17.52, but his car definitely fell off towards the end of the race. He's some 5.45 seconds behind the lead car, and he only knocked out an 18 neat in that last lap, so obviously his car went off quite quickly there. So that is group number 1, heat number 2 for the Alf Cup here at Central Motor Speedway. Okay, folks, here we go. That was group number 1 for heat number 2 of the Alf Cup here at Central Motor Speedway. 3NZ car, M. Burson. Burse, mate, what a fantastic drive, but a couple of battles there as well, eh?
Oh, definitely. There's definitely battles amongst that race there, and I think I might have slid into Jacko there when I passed him, but yeah, didn't sort of. There's no intention or no malice in it. I think she was just a bit of a bump stations, and then yeah, away we went.
It's obviously the track's not too bad. You must have found a line up pretty high because you seem to go round to the outside of people like they're standing still.
Yeah. Oh no, we had to find our own line there. There wasn't much to play on, and yeah, there was a bit of a cush up right up against the wall, like both ends. So yeah, that's where it was at.
And the car's performing good, like you're quite happy with the way it's handling at the moment?
Yeah, we've done quite a few changes and filled it up with fuel this time from the first race to that race, and yeah, we'll have to do some more again to keep up with the track.
Now, whose spot was it you run out of fuel?
Oh, the guy that's not here, that's all I will say.
Good stuff. And of course, sponsor look after you on the car are who?
In-house developments, Tates New Zealand, Debbie the Webster, Design Art Signs, AT Electrical, Alf Lubricants, of course. It wouldn't be doing this series if it wasn't for them guys. Hydrolink, Brooks Auto Painters, and Tony's Engineering and Edward Gibbon. So we've got a list, but yeah, they're all valued partners in this car and team. So yeah,
it's hard to do without them, isn't it?
Oh, you can't, man. No, it's impossible. You know, these things cost between $1,000 and $1,500 a night to run. Depends if you have any balls ups, and yeah, it's an expensive sport.
Rightio, 76, the Canvas Company. Paul Berg lines it up on the outside of him. 95 is Owen Dixon from Invercargill. Of course, Paul Berg from Woodford Glen. Speedway 5, Daryl Ainsley, the local lad on his outside. The 27 car of Trevor Elliott. 492, Campbell McManaway. No brakes. He's got no brakes. He's only got rear brakes. So they tried to fix it, but there's no way they could. So they're going to have another crack after they get back and after this race here. But he'll be pretty quiet in this race, he tells me. 2NZ, Mark Grocott, 35. Mark Carey there as well, right at the tail end of the field with 34. The winner of the last race, Ray Stewart. And as we said before, Ray's issues with his car, nothing to be concerned about, he tells me. So the Heavy Tracks Hire, of course, this is the Heavy Tracks Hire round of the Elf Cup, the Central Motor Speedway round as well. And absolutely fantastic there that Heavy Tracks Hire is sponsoring this round. Of course, these guys move to Dunedin tomorrow, Beachland Speedway. They might be doing it with the rain jackets on by the sounds of things, but however, that is the plan. And so if you want to see some great racing, head off to Beachland Speedway tomorrow and check out the Elf Cup Super Saloon. That'll be round number 3 of the Elf Cup. Supposedly supposed to be R4, you see, that's what screwed me up. And we actually got Roger Neese standing behind us, and Roger is obviously not racing. He's had a bit of a health issue to go on top of his mental issues, so hopefully he's all fixed up and about ready to go racing on Boxing Day. So you'll be struggling to not be out here, are you, Roger?
Yeah, it's hard work leaving the car at home, but hey, we've got to do it. We're looking forward to getting back on Boxing Day, so yeah.
Well, best of luck with your recovery.
Thanks very much.
On both fronts.
Yeah, good on you. And the mental health issues. Yeah. And just wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Absolutely. Righto, here we go. Up in turn 3 and 4, 76 Berg. On his outside, 95 Owen Dixon. These guys started off the back in the last one. Let's see what they can do in this one. Ready, racing we go. And looks like 95 Owen Dixon's going to get the power down a wee bit better. But that tight 1 and 2 is always the undoing of most good men as they make their way down the back straight, starting to settle down a wee bit now. And up the front, 95 Owen Dixon's opened up about maybe 3 car lengths back, 76 Paul Berg. And behind him, 5 Daryl Ainsley is going to duck down the inside of him, going across the start-finish line, and he'll take over that second spot now. 76 Berg will drop back to 3rd, and behind them, 27 Trevor Elliott would be next there in 4th spot. Half a length back, 2NZ, Mark Grocott. McManaway's having a wee look down the inside of him, and then we've got 34 Ray Stewart, and the 35 car of Mark Carey brings up that final spot at the tail end of the field now. Front side, 95 Owen Dixon maintains about 6 car lengths back to the 5 of Ainsley. Ainsley's closing it up pretty quickly though as they go up to the top part of turn 3 and 4, and behind them about 15-20 lengths back it will be the 76 car of Paul Berg, who's being challenged on the inside by the 2NZ car of Mark Grocott. McManaway's decided to go wide and say, righto you buggers, I'm coming through, move over. Oh, Fluffy's got a wee bit of a tap from him, but McManaway is if he's not going to go around them, he's going to go through them by the looks of it. So we'll go back up the front though, and just while that's been happening, the 5 car of Daryl Ainsley's now taken over the lead, and his 95 car of Owen Dixon's got bits sticking out everywhere as he now makes his way up between turn 3 and 4. McManaway goes up to try and find a bit of drive up top part of the track now. And behind him, 34 Ray Stewart's just ducking down the inside of the 76 car of Paul Berg. And behind Berg, 27 Elliott, 2NZ Mark Grocott, and 35 Mark Carey for that final spot at the tail end of the field now. Ainsley, he goes up into turn 1 and 2, nice and tight, comes off there, heads down the back straights, opened up about 25-30 car lengths back to the 95 car of Owen Dixon, and behind him about the length of the back straight back to the 492 of Campbell McManaway, who's been closed up pretty quickly by 34 Ray Stewart. A good battle going on further down the field between 27 of Trevor Elliott, 76 Paul Berg, 2NZ Mark Grocott, and the 35 car of Mark Carey now. Let's go back up the front, across the start finish line we go, and 5 Daryl Ainsley still leads the charge, gets it a bit high up on turn 2 there, but comes out okay. And behind him, 95 Owen Dixon's pretty solid back in second spot. He's got a length of the back straight back to the good battle going on between the 492 car of Campbell McManaway and 34 Ray Stewart, remembering that McManaway's got no brakes, so he's doing a pretty good job at the moment to be back in that 3rd spot as he goes across the start finish line. And behind them, it is the 27 car of Trevor Elliott, then 2NZ Mark Grocott's got through a couple of those cars now. 76 Berg, 35 Mark Carey, but here comes the lead car. He's caught up behind the tail end of 76 Paul Berg. Oh, he's going to give him a bit of a shunt. as he makes his way up between 3 and 4. That might have been a wee bit close. Look at this splendid drive from Daryl Ainsley. He's chopping through this field like they're standing still, and Mark carries his next victim now as he heads down the back straight. Dixon still sorted out. Still that battle looms between McManaway and also the 34 car of Stewart. Stewart ducks down nice and tight. He won't have much drive out of there, but he gets a little bit closer to McManaway. Goes up into turn 3 and 4. McManaway's up halfway along the track there, and Ray Stewart's in that next spot. We should just about have seen a white flag that's come out now, and will be the checkered actually for the 5 car of Daryl Ainsley. He'll take the win. Back in second spot, and we're going to have a cup of coffee and a box of chips. It is going to be 95 Owen Dixon, and then in behind him it will be the 49-2 car Campbell McManaway, 34 Ray Stewart, 27 Trev Elliott, 2 NZ Mark Grocott, and 35 Mark Carey, and 76 Paul Berg there as well. Berg obviously with some problems right at the end of the race. But a good win for the 5 car Daryl Ainsley. We don't have lap scoring for him, so I'm not sure what his speed is there. In second spot, Owen Dixon, 16.78 fastest lap, did that on lap number 6. Bit of a walk in the park for the last part of the race. A couple of cool moves to get through Owen Dixon, but you must be pretty happy with the way that race went.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. I was pretty happy to be racing here full stop because we had problems with the car this morning, and the EBS was not working, and I had to get a good mate to come in and the electricity Sparky and get it sorted for us. We didn't get out here till about 20 minutes to go, so I didn't actually think we were even going to be racing, to be honest. So to come out like we have tonight was pretty awesome, pretty stoked.
You must be pretty happy with the way the car's performing, obviously, and it looks absolutely fantastic as well. It's really a step up from last season. Track out there is performing well for your car?
Track's good, and I think we're starting to get better for our setups, and we're not changing a great deal. We're just doing little things, and pretty happy.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so it's all business end of the deal now. Of course, you got the top 8. I'm pretty sure you would have made that, no problem at all. And then to the feature, what's the plan for that?
We'll see. We're going to the shootout, and then we'll just make a decision after that, really.
Absolutely. Well, sponsor look after you, who, Daryl?
Ainsley's Quick Sharing, of course, and then we've got Golden Gate, Cromwell Collision, Main Freight Cromwell. I'm going to forget someone, Gary Anderson, Central Powder Coating, Metro Graphics, who did a great job of the car. And of course Alf for sponsoring this deal.
Okay, here we are, Central Motor Speedway, round number 2 of the Alf Cup. And we have a 492 car of Campbell McManaway getting booted by the Gavin Hill. But Campbell, obviously a few issues with the car around your brakes.
Yeah, we done the warm-up 4 laps and the right front locked on. So they turned the front brakes off and we haven't been able to get them fixed yet. So we've just got a little bit of back brake, so I'm glad nothing sort of serious come in front of us, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to stop. So, but it all turned out all right, so we're quite happy.
Absolutely, and of course a bit of an interesting move in that last race. I mean, a bit of a balls move, if you ask me, going around the outside of a car there, and a couple of other good decent moves as well. So obviously there must be something still left in the car to be performing like that.
Oh, the car's good, all right, and this is one of my top favourite tracks. So. Yeah, it's just a bit annoying not having any brakes, but hopefully we get them going for the pole shuffle. I got qualified 7th, so I'm up there for the first start of the pole shuffle, so hopefully something can happen to that.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose the only thing left to do is wish you the best of luck. Who's the sponsor? Look after you, Campbell.
Sponsors are Can Do Fishing from Bluff. We got the Pits Media, we got Dowie Contracting, and Fast Blast Christchurch.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with 2 locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
It's mag wheel sale time at Mag and Turbo. We've got 14-inch mags for $99, 15-inch mags $129, and 17-inch mags from $169. Finance is available, but only from Mag and Turbo.
Want a great night out for all the family? Want great value? Need excitement? Need action, thrills, speed and spills? Then you need to be at your local Speedway's next race meeting. It's got it all! Speedway, the entertainment sport.
It's time now to bring out the Super Saloons. It is, of course, the Top Gun, the pole shuffle, the top 8, whatever you want to call it, and leading him out 95, the Vital Signs, Dixon Transport car of Owen Dixon, 492, the Can-Do Kinner. And, of course, the Pits TV-sponsored car of Campbell McManaway. 11, the Stoneleigh car of Jason Phillips, the Gypsy Royal Stud, and BRT car of Josh Boulton. And behind him, CHS car of Brenda Taylor, House of Travel, Fairview Fiberglass. That is the Gorge car of Richie Taylor. And the 34 car, Heavy Tracks Hire, and Seeker Parts, Alan Nelson there. It is the car of 34, Ray Stewart. And, of course, Ray Heavy Tracks Hire around sponsor here today as well. 5 of Daryl Ainsley, Cromwell Collision Repair, Ainsley Shearing, looking after him. And the in-house Tate's Deb the Webster. It is the car of 3NZ, and that is in Burson. As we said before, these guys have got to race each other, 2 cars at a time. This is the 8th fastest car versus the 7th fastest car. Whoever wins this will advance on to face the 6th fastest car. And I'm sure that if you're any good, you'll figure out what happens from there. So these, whoever loses this will start off, obviously, grid position number 8 in the feature coming up at the end of the night. He's about to battle it out with McManaway, the fisherman versus the truck driver. Let's go racing. Oh, listen to that thing of McManaway screams. He's been told to look after the engine for the season, but clearly not. He goes up into the lead now, so the Hypermac gets a good wee buffer too, about 2 lengths over the 95 Caravan Dixon. He pushes it a bit too wide here, and this is going to allow the Lovelady car of Owen Dixon a bit of an opportunity, but not at this stage. White flag should be out as they make their way down the back straight. The 492 car of Campbell McManaway still holds off. 95 Owen Dixon. Dixon's right there, and could be a close one towards the end here. It's going to be a drag race, and I'd like to say that it was the 492 car of Campbell McManaway just over 95 Owen Dixon. That's, of course, one of those really close ones towards the end. So good battle from Owen Dixon. It's probably the best we've seen Owen go in quite some time. They made a lot of changes to the car, and obviously those changes are starting to pay off. 11. The Stoneleigh machine, the Tiny Rod versus the Hypermac. Jason, of course, won the first round, or the first race. And we're up and underway again. Let's see what happens here. There'll be a bit more side-by-side stuff going into 1 and 2 this time. McManaway's got to try and find some drive down low. Phillips has definitely got it going up high. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. It's a bit of a touchy-feely session. And McManaway, he's going to have to, I'm not sure what's going to happen. He's going to go around the outside. He is going to. So they're back going again. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one. They're going to carry it on. So McManaway goes into the lead into the side of the 11 car of Jason Phillips. And I'm not sure who was in the wrong there, but we'll find out a little bit later on when we watch the footage. So anyway, we'll get a bit close again. Jason Phillips, that should bring the checkered flag out this time round. And it will be McManaway. But we'll just wait. Oh, look at this. They're into the side of each other. This is absolutely not good enough. I tell you, Jason obviously giving McManaway a bit of a nudge saying, oh, boy. Anywho, it is a Hypermac versus a Hypermac. An 891 car is out next. Josh Boulton takes the outside line, and the inside 492, McManaway. And, of course, Josh has been pretty good racing this new Hypermac machine. Of course, just came out of a win at the Canterbury Championships last weekend. Let's see what he can do up against McManaway. Green flag gets dropped. It's the Klein engine versus a 492 car of McManaway, of course. Makes his way down the back straight. Josh Boulton's opened up a good wee lead here. And he's up on that. Look at that mid-pack, mid-line. Found a wee bit of drive up high. McManaway's got a wee bit more speed now, finding a bit of line. He's obviously got brakes now, which is probably helping as well. But he just can't quite get out of the corners as good as what the 891 car of Josh Boulton. So Boulton will take this one out. Gypsy Raw Stud, BRT. So McManaway gained, 2 spots there? So that's not a bad effort for him. It is now Josh Boulton versus the 58 car of Richie Taylor. We had a chat to Richie before. The CHS, Brenda Taylor House of Travel, Fairview Fiberglass sponsored machine, and he said he's really struggling with this track. It's just not working for him. We'll go racing anyway. So there's a good battle between Josh and Richie last weekend at the Canterbury Champs, and looks like Richie might have a wee bit of a buffer. He's got about 2 over the 891 car of Josh Boulton. It got up nice and high. You can see Richie's car's as tight as a nun's. Anyway, they go across the start-finish line. And lifting right up on the left-hand side. and makes his way down the back straight now. Richie Taylor, 891 Josh Boulton. The Gorge looks like he's got the goods this time round, and we did say that he won't be down for very long, and he certainly isn't. So Richie Taylor will take the win in this one. 891 Josh Boulton will start pretty much where he came out at, as the 34 car, our round sponsor, the Heavy Tracks Hire, and Seeker Parts in Nelson looking after Ray Stewart, of course, this round of the Elf Cup, bought to us by Heavy Tracks Hire. Got a couple of branches, one in Auckland, Cromwell, Mosgiel, and in Invercargill as well. All heavy equipment for hiring. So Richie's on the inside, Ray Stewart on the outside. Oh, what's happened to Ray? I think he might have pulled the handbrake on there. He stopped right smack bang in the middle of the track. It just seemed to lock there, so I'm not sure what the issue was. Richie needs to see that yellow light, and he has now. So 34 Ray Stewart. That was a very interesting piece of driving. I'm not sure what happened there. Did something pop?
Tangled up a wee bit of a tangle there.
Well, it might have been a wee bit of a tangle, it's Chocolate said, so I'm not sure what the call's going to be there. 5, Daryl Ainsley will join on to the track though, and of course Daryl, a bit late to the start of the season. He was his first race meeting was the Elf Cup in Nelson, and he went on to place 3rd in that, and I tell you what, he got out of the car, he was white. He was really white. So he's going to have a crack here. Hypermac versus Gorge again. Fastest lap of the racing so far tonight from the 5 car Ainsley. Look at that, he's just up high. He puts the foot down, he's got something outside there, and he's just gone. And Richie Taylor's going to be playing catch up, but he's having a wee good look here up in between turn 3 and 4. But Ainsley just sets that arse of the car up. Can you say arse? Anyway, up into 1 and 2 he goes. Heads down the back straight now, and 58 Richie Taylor's watching a whole heap of Mary designs in his front windscreen. Oh, Ainsley's gone a little bit too high here. He's gotten away with it though. Screaming its lungs out. It is, of course, 5 Daryl Ainsley that will advance on. And now we've got the 3NZ car, the in-house Tate's Deb the Webster machine of in Burson, another Hypermac machine. So 2 Hypermacs will be battling it out for grid position 1 and 2. Up between 3 and 4 we are at this stage now, and as they start to build up a bit of momentum, but a bit of speed here, and the green gets dropped. Now this will be an interesting one, because both these guys very talented. Oh, Burse is just about into the wall, and that was one of those clinching moments, I tell you. He's up into 3 and 4 now. He's going to be playing catch up, but he's got a bit of drive on that earlier race, and he thought he might have been a bit more up there. It might have bit, but obviously it didn't. As they make their way up into 1 and 2, he's definitely gained quite a few spots here, but he's just got it no momentum, unfortunately. So Daryl Ainsley should start off grid position number 1. Done a lot of laps around here, and there it goes. 5, Daryl Ainsley. He'll take the win and start off grid 1, and grid 2 will be the 3NZ car. So no matter what, there'll be one of those guys will be starting off the front. But just remember, folks, there could be a little bit of a twist here. It's like a joker, really. One of these guys can choose to start off the back of the grid for the feature race coming up a little bit later on. We'll see if they're up for the challenge, eh?
I think Daryl will take it.
Well, you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's got some serious horsepower happening there, and it's looking like a very quick car tonight.
And it is the 5 of Daryl Ainsley, Ainsley Shearing, Cromwell Collision Repair looking after him. In-house Tate's Deb the Webster, 3NZ car of Ian Burson out next. CHS, Spreader Taylor House of Travel, Fairview Fiberglass, the Gorge Chassis of 58 Richie Taylor. Heavy Tracks High, Tech King, and of course the guys from Seeker Parts there as well. It is the 34 car of Ray Stewart. Gypsy Royal Stunt and the BRT 891 car of Josh Boulton would be out next. Then the Can Do Fishing, the Pits TV 492 car of Campbell McManaway. 11 car, the Jason Phillips, the Stonelay sponsored machine. And then we go 95, the Owen Dixon Transport. It is, of course, Owen Dixon. 6, GT Radials, Mag and Turbo Riverlands car of Kane Lawson, and behind him it's the 35 Mark Carey contracting car of Mark Carey. 2NZ, Brown and Symes sponsored car of Mark Grocott, the main freight Cromwell. It is the car of Paul Wright, and then we go 27 Elliott Scaffolding, Laffy's Tyre Services, 5 Ash Contracting, it's Trevor Elliott. The 17 car, the Mag and Turbo LRC machine of Jackson Lovelady, and I do believe the Canvas Company 76 car Paul Berg. Ray Stewart's pretty keen to get going as well. He's right up the diff of the 5 car of Daryl Ainsley on the outside line on row 2. Making their way up into 3 and 4. 25 laps is the distance. Let's see if we can go from green to checkered. Racing we go. Rightio, they sort themselves out up into 1 and 2. 3 NZ's the one that's got the charge at the moment. 5 though, Ainsley. He's there. 58 Richie Taylor sneaks to the inside as they make their way up. Oh, Ainsley's pretty high. It's let a lot of cars through. Looks like McManaway. Also Ray Stewart's gone through as well. Up the front, the 3 NZ machine of Ian Burson's the one that leads the charge, and behind him, 58 is Richie Taylor. 1 spot back, 891 car of Josh Boulton will be next in. The 34 car of Ray Stewart would be in behind him now. 492 Campbell McManaway would be in that next spot. Then we got the 5 car of Daryl Ainsley right in behind him now. 11 Jason Phillips would be your next place machine from 6 Kane Lawson. 95 Owen Dixon would be next from the 2 NZ car of Fluffy Grocott. 35 Mark Carey, and then we go back 12 Paul Wright. 27 of course is the car of Trevor Elliott, and then we go 1 spot back to Jackson Lovelady, and Paul Berg brings up that final spot at the rear of the end of the field now. Up into turn number 3 and 4, and it is the looks like it's Richie Taylor's caught up behind the 3 NZ machine of Ian Burson. Looks like Taylor's going to go up nice and high. Beautiful move around the outside. Let's see if he can make it stick now as he comes down the back straight. Yes, he does. Richie Taylor, he's off and gone. Back behind him, the 3 NZ car of Ian Burson now starts to watch the CHS car start to head off into the distance there. And behind him, 1 spot back, the 891 car of Josh Boulton sits in 3rd spot. Then we got 34. Ray Stewart would be next as well. Ray goes a little bit too wide but gets away with it now as they make their way down the back straight. 492 Campbell McManaway would be your next place car from back behind him. 5 car of Daryl Ainsley's about 2 lengths back in that next spot now. About another 8 or 9 back, we'll see the 11 car of Jason Phillips, who's been monstered by the 6 car of Kane Lawson. A good 25 links back to the 95 car of Owen Dixon, 2 NZ. Mark Grocott can't make too much of an impact at this stage. And behind him, 35 Mark Carey, and a good battle going on for that tail end of the field now. Up the front we go, and coming off turn 2, it is going to be the 58 car, Richie Taylor. He's opened up about 10 lengths back to the 3 NZ car of Ian Burson now. About a half a length, and behind him we'll see our next place car, which is the 891 of Josh Boulton. 34 Ray Stewart's going to try and duck down the inside of Josh Boulton now up between 1 and 2. He won't get the drive down. The momentum's definitely with the 891 car of Josh Boulton. We've got 9 laps down, and behind him the 34 car of Ray Stewart's the 492 of Campbell McManaway. Not even a half a length, and behind him we'll see Daryl Ainsley pushing him all the way now. Ainsley's got a bit of drive as he makes his way up into 1 and 2. 11 Jason Phillips is closing the gap up a wee bit as well, and behind him the 6 car of Kane Lawson. The wee 375 V8 car of 11 Jason Phillips. It makes no difference about horsepower in this job, that's for sure. Let's go back up the front. 58 Richie Taylor. Josh Boulton's gone round, and 34 Ray Stewart has managed to avoid him. They've still stayed green though. 492 Campbell McManaway thinks there's going to be a yellow, and he's stopped. Or has he got a problem? Oh, I think he thought there's going to be a yellow come out. 891 Josh Boulton's come to a stop, and it'll be in his best interest just to stay there. Correct. That is the best thing to do. Very, very slow on the yellows there they were, and that shouldn't have been the case. So obviously they'll have to go back to their last lap placings, but not 100% sure what happened. But Josh Boulton did spin out. They're having a good battle with 34 Ray Stewart, so it'll be interesting to see. He's come back up behind, or he's going to go in front of Ray, so he thinks that Ray might have had something to do with that. 58 Richie Taylor leads the 3 NZ car of Ian Burson. 891 Josh Boulton back in 3rd. 34 Ray Stewart's for 4th. 492 Campbell McManaway for 5th. 5 Daryl Ainsley for 6th. 11 Jason Phillips for 7th. And we're off and underway racing. Green gets dropped. Up into 1 and 2 we go. They've all sort of squeezed up a wee bit now. 58 Richie Taylor's the one that leads the charge. 3 NZ in 2nd spot. McManaway had a wee crack at 34 Ray Stewart, but he's not close enough. Ray's going pretty high here, so McManaway might get another chance up into 1 and 2. Into 1 and 2 they go. 58 Richie Taylor's the one that leads the charger behind him. 3 NZM Burson, or Kane Lawson's had a bit of an off further down the field. 891 Josh Boulton still holds off third spot. 34 Ray Stewart fourth. McManaway's in fifth. 5 Daryl Ainsley sixth. 11 Jason Phillips in seventh now. Up into 1 and 2 we go. And 58 Richie Taylor got the car back down into the 17 bracket with a 17.67 in that last lap as he makes his way up into turn 3 and 4. 13 laps. This will be lap number 14 to be completed now as he goes across the start-finish line. And behind him, the 3 NZ car of Ian Burson's too far away to do anything at this stage. 891 Josh Boulton still holds off third spot. He's about 2 or 3 lengths back behind 3 NZ, about the same distance back. We'll see the 34 car. Oh, we've got cars crashing over here. It's 17 Jackson Lovelady and 35 Mark Carey that have had a coming together. And I did see something fall onto the track there as well, so interesting to see what that is and whether they'll send somebody over there to check that out. And let's see what 58 Richie Taylor can do. Goes into turn number 1 and 2 now. Burse has a wee sniff down the inside. Richie's got it covered at the moment though. Back behind him, it's the 891 car of Boulton, and then we go back. Oh, Kane Lawson's having a wee pass there on the 11 car of Jason Phillips. He gets through. But Jason Phillips has got a bit better momentum up on the high line, going past us in the control tower now. Over to the back straight, 58 Richie Taylor leads the charge now from the 3 NZ machine of Ian Burson. 891 Josh Boulton's about 6 back, about 3 or 4 behind him. 34 Ray Stewart from the 492 car of Campbell McManaway. McManaway's got about 2 lengths over 5 Daryl Ainsley. Ainsley's looking pretty threatening as he makes his way out of turn 2. 11 Jason Phillips is continuing that battle with the 6 car of Kane Lawson. 2 NZ Mark Grocot's got out of the slower cars now. He's starting to work his way up through the field. He'll be in that next spot there, 95. It is the car of Owen Dixon. 27 Elliott, 17 Lovelady, 35 Mark Carey, and 12 Paul Wright. Other way they'll line up. And lap number 16, number 17's about to get unleashed now. 58 Richie Taylor up into 1 and 2. Cool, calm and collected. 3 NZ Ian Burson in second spot. 891 Josh Boulton still holds off that third from the 34 car Ray Stewart. 492 Campbell McManaway is about 15-20 back in that next spot. 5 Daryl Ainsley's about another 7 or 8 back and behind him. So McManaway's got a wee bit of a break here. Might be that the car's starting to come back to him as the later part of the race. He's up on the high line too, McManaway. Ainsley's got a hold off 11 Jason Phillips and 6 Kane Lawson. Owen Dixon's made a mistake coming on to 1 and 2, and he's dropped back a couple of spots now. 58 Richie Taylor. He's on lap number 19, or actually lap number 20 now. He'll go up into turn number 3 and 4. The 3 car of Ian Burson still holds off that second spot. He's close, but he's too far away to make any sort of a difference. Back behind them, a good battle still going on between 891 and the 34 car. McManaway gets it that gap down a wee bit more. Did an 18.39, so he's on some pretty good pace here, McManaway. Over to the start-finish line. Into lap number 22 we go. 58, Richie Taylor. He's been playing it cool, calm and collected all night, but he's come back at the feature to put on a bit of a show here. 3 NZ. Ian Burson, he's about 15 back now. He's getting further back. He's about 1.3 seconds behind now, but right up his dip is the 891 car of Josh Boulton, and then right up him is the oh, Ainsley's hit the wall. Bit of sparkage coming off there. Over to the start-finish line. Winding down the last couple of laps now. 58 Richie Taylor, he plays it cool. Heads down the back straight. Burst still holds off second. Really no movement in this one. She's all pretty steady as she goes. Last lap should be. White flag comes out, 1 to go. 58 Richie Taylor. It's just a length to the front straight. And a back straight and 2 corners to go. What a win. What a fantastic drive. Yeah, the cream always rises to the top. 58 Richie Taylor. He'll take the win. In second spot, the 3 NZ car of Ian Burson. 891 Josh Boulton from 34 Ray Stewart. 492 Campbell McManaway there. Then 5 Daryl Ainsley. From the 11 car of Jason Phillips, 6 Kane Lawson, 27 Trevor Elliott, 2 NZ Mark Grocott from the 17 car of Jackson Lovelady, 35 Mark Carey, 95 Owen Dixon, and the 12 car of Paul Wright will bring up that final spot at the tail end of the field. But what a win. Give him a round of applause as he makes his way around the track. He was having an interview with me earlier on. I sort of said to him, Richie, you're sort of playing it a bit safe tonight. And he said, Jason, we'll be back. And certainly he has done exactly that. Richie Taylor takes round number 2 of the Elf Cup here at Central Motor Speedway. Great battle for that 2nd, 3rd and 4th between Burse, Stewart and McManaway. Okay, folks, here we go. Elf Cup, Central Motor Speedway round number 2, and it is the 3rd place car of 891C, Josh Boulton. Josh, just continue on from a good couple of weekends. Track conditions not exactly ideal out there, but still a good result.
Yeah, I mean, the track was good for most of the night. That last one, it started to, obviously it went away with that many laps, but I thought we were creeping up on Burst there a bit at the end, but I mean, where do you pass on track like that? So you just sort of, see how it goes. We had a wee whoopsie there with Ray, but they sorted that out, so it's no drama.
Okay, so was it a whoopsie with Ray? Because somebody thought it might have been your own whoopsie, but obviously clearly a bit of contact between you and Ray, was it?
Yeah, he gave me a wee love tap and we spun around, and it was actually, they called caution on the headset, but it was still green, and the cars all started slowing down. That's actually why they were questioning where I should restart. They thought I'd caused the caution after the spin. Yeah. But
well, we could see guys actually slowing down. I mean, McManaway'd almost come to a bit of a stop and waiting for somebody to run up his bum, but thankfully that didn't happen. So clearly there had to be some sort of reasoning behind it. But that's good. I mean, still 3rd spot. Are you happy with the way the cars performed tonight? It's all good to ready to go for tomorrow? I
am very happy with the way it was given to me to go out and have a hoon. So we haven't broken anything. So yeah, we're ready for tomorrow. That
sounds good. Who looks after you sponsorship-wise on the car, Josh?
Gypsy Royal Starter Course and Kane Mag Turbo. Fantastic.
Okay, here we go. Elf Cup, Central Motor Speedway round number 2, and 2nd place was the 3NZ car of M. Burson. Now, Burse, you had no answer for Richie. I mean, you sort of had him there for a wee bit, but he just headed off into the distance. Still 2nd place on a track like that's pretty outstanding.
Oh yeah, well, fantastic result tonight. We had a really good points haul round 1 in Nelson. Today was just a matter of consistency. We didn't win in Nelson either. But hey, you got to, at the end of the day, the guy with the most points wins the series, not the guy that wins the feature race on one night. So we're sort of aiming for the big picture, and yeah, we would love to win a feature, but not tonight. Richie was the man of the moment.
I might have thought that you guys might have headed to the back to try and gain his maximum points, and I assume you didn't do that because the track wasn't really a good drivey one that you could actually do that with. So you'd be quite happy to just get the points that you got.
Oh yeah, honestly, Daryl and I thought about going to the back, but we thought the cush is the place where it's at, where everyone's doing the passing, and if 15 cars are using that cush, there's going to be no track to pass on. So we decided to start off the front and just mosey on from there.
Now, talking to that, who are your sponsors? You're going to get into practice for some stage of it.
We've got in-house developments, Tate's New Zealand, Hydrolink, Debbie the Webster, she's Mike Perry Real Estate, AT Electrical, Design Art Signs, Brooks Auto Punters, Tony's Engineering, and Edward Gibbon.
Okay, folks, here we are at the feature race of the Elf Cup here. It's round 2 at Central Motor Speedway. We spoke to you early on in the night, Richie, and we sort of said, you haven't come with your game plan. Well, I'm kicking myself in the face about now, mate. So congratulations on that win. Awesome drive.
Yep. As I said to you, we'll just keep plugging away and finding our setup. And we were behind the 8 ball, as I said to you, sort of earlier in the night, the whole night really. We were probably one race behind, and we just got in and messed with what we know. We didn't try anything crazy or new or anything, and stuck with what we know. And happy as the car was just easy.
And once again, just want to refresh those sponsors who looks after you. Obviously, without their guys' help, you wouldn't be where you are.
Absolutely, cylinder head specialists, all about signs, Fairview Fiberglass, Brenda Taylor House of Travel, Mini-Dig. Yeah, we've got a lot of people that keep us going, and we need every one of them.
Well, congratulations, Richie. That was a fantastic drive, and well done. You actually won by quite a while away, so it's fantastic, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I just kept on trucking and thought, well, if somebody drives up beside me, we'll have a race then. But yeah, so we had a gap on them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's about 10 car lengths, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. No, happy with that. It was good.
Congratulations, Richie.
Thanks again.